Hi everyone and welcome back to Gymnastics with Rosanna. Today's video we're going to talk about doing headstands. This is a move that some of my gymnasts that I teach have always struggled with, but I'm going to teach you a few tips and tricks to make these a lot easier. Let's get started. So with headstands, there's a couple of important things that we need to consider. The first one is the fact that we need to make ourselves into a stable base. So the first mistake I see a lot of people doing is they put their hands in line with their head so it's a straight line. Unfortunately, we can't balance very well in this position, so we actually want to make a triangle with our hands and our head. So to do this, you need to find a space on the floor. I've put a mat down to make it a little bit softer on my head, and make sure you have enough space around you in case you overbalance. So don't have anything solid. Unfortunately, I've got to have a chair behind me as I have nowhere else to put it, but if you have a bigger space, that will be better. So you're going to find the spot where your head is going to go, and then your hands are going to form a triangle lower down. So you can see I've got my head here, and then my hands form a triangle. Now before we have a go at a headstand, the next thing we've got to remember is we need to be using our tummy muscles throughout. You need to be engaging your core, keeping your tummy tight the whole time, because this will help you balance. So we're going to have a go to start with. All we're going to do is trying to get our feet off the floor into a tuck shape. We're not going to go straight up into straight legs. So we put our head forward, we find our hand position, so we're making that triangle. From here, my toes are tucked under, and I'm going to push my legs straight so my bottom is up in the air. I'm going to walk them in, trying to get my bottom over my head. And from there, once I'm balanced, I can just pick my feet up a little bit. So find your balance, get your bottom up really high, and then just see if you can pick your feet up and balance for a few seconds. It's important to try that a few times first to make sure that you are in the correct balance point. If you find that when you try and lift your feet up, you're falling over one way or the other, you're not quite in the right position. So you've got to have that tummy tight, bottom over your head. If you're not quite there, if you've not got your bottom high enough, you're just going to keep coming down if you're trying to pick your feet up too early. If you're going the other way, I'm not going to fall over because I'm going to hit a sofa, but if your bottom is too far, you're going to roll over. So if I do it facing towards you, if my bottom is too high, I'm just going to come straight over the top. So depending if you overbalance which way, depends whether you need to get your bottom a little bit higher and not quite as far. So once you're happy with doing this little balance, so bottom high, walk your feet in, lift your feet off. We're going to try and lift them a little bit higher. So you're going to lift your feet up and see if you can balance in your tuck shape. It's worth practicing this a few times as well to make sure that you've really got the hang of lifting your legs up towards your tummy now for that tuck shape. You have your head on the floor, hands on the triangle, bottom in the air, walk your feet in, lift up, and then you can tuck your legs up when you are balanced. Again, if you find that you're falling straight back to the floor, that means your bum isn't quite high enough, and if you're going over the top, it means that you've got your bottom too far over the top, so your weight is overbalanced. Another thing that's really important to notice, and a mistake I see a lot of times, is people try and jump into this. So notice when I do it, I am not jumping. If you try and jump from here, that kind of kick, unless you've got good balance, and you can know where you're trying to get your weight to, you are going to fall straight over. It is far easier if you walk your feet in and then lift to check that you're in your balance position to be able to do your tucked headstand. So once you think you've mastered that, it's time to have a go at lifting out straight, and then you can go for other positions as well. So the main thing is we start the same. Head on the floor. Hands make a triangle, walk those feet in, lift, tuck. When you feel you've got your balance, that's when you can lift your legs up. Remember to squeeze your tummy muscles the whole time and then you could come back in and lower. You may feel that your weight is moving a little bit between your hands and your head as you find your balance when you raise your legs, but that's okay. Just keep your tummy tight, squeeze everything in, feel your balance, and you'll be able to do it. If lifting both legs up at the same time is a little bit of a challenge, you may want to go with one leg. So again, start the same, walk those legs in, balance in a tuck, find your balance, lift one leg, and then you can lift the other. It just means you've got a little bit more balance there because your bottom, one of your legs is still in that tuck position, making you a better shape to balance in and an easier shape to balance in. After you've mastered going up to straight legs, you can have a go at any other shape you like, splits, stag shapes, whatever you feel like is the one you want to do. I hope this has helped everybody, and I'll see you again soon.